Welcome back to Nicholas Comic Corner Classic Non-Classics. This is episode number 1789 and Doubleshot number 1683. You're probably noticing, Nick, you haven't worn this shirt in a while. Yeah, I just dug out my drawer because I felt like it. Alright, now, the two trades I'm talking about here with this particular episode are featuring two characters who were created by Brian Michael Bendis. Yep, and did he have anything to do with these two comic books? No, because these comics were published after he left Marvel. First up is actually one of the last characters he created for Marvel before he left the jump over DC, and that is Ironheart. Yep, this is actually the second and last of the collect issues for her ongoing series. Yep, collecting issues 7 through 12 of Ironheart, written by Eve Ewing. Now, this book basically, in a way, does wrap up the series. Unfortunately, yes, I do not know the reason for the cancellation of the series. Was because of low sales? I highly doubt it wasn't a terrible series. It's just to have just ended. Oh, if you're curious though, why is Doctor Strange wearing this black attire? That was something he was sporting in the Mark Waid run for the book. Yes, for some reason, Mark Waid switched up the classic look that he'd been using for decades. And, well, the look he'd been using, he went back to a more classic Steve Ditko style look in the last several years. Then, for some reason, Waid decided to switch up where he's wearing all black with this, like, almost like Spider-ish attire with a black collar. I think it's a weird look for Doctor Strange. Also shows the fact he's really thin. I've heard the classic Ditko look. And he's here just to help out Riri, who's basically also trying to find out stuff related to her father, which, yeah, here's the weird thing though. Like, she actually meets her father, and her father has no idea who the heck she is. Like, he doesn't remember at all. And by the way, this actually is a plot thread that's not concluded when basically when the series wraps up. Matter of fact, it's one of two I've seen where the whole thing of a character finding their father and the plot thread is not wrapped up because the series gets canceled for no reason. Last one was actually Nova. Yep, Nova. Yeah, there's a guy Midnight here. We also have a team up here with not only Doctor Strange, also Shara. Black Panther's sister pops up in this book. And she's actually wearing her outfit she actually had in her brief solo book. Yep. There's even a brief guest appearance here by Jenna Von Dyne, basically Nydia, aka the Unstoppable Wasp. Great to see her pop up. Doctor Strange is helping with other stuff, but man, Shara. Yes. Now, if you're curious, though, what is up with the look she has? Well, that was something from her brief solo book. The reason why she got a solo book was because of Black Panther movie. Yep. And here's a fun fact for you. The guy who created her is a guy by the name of Rachel Holland, who is a movie director. Yep, he's a director. And he's the one who created her. And they team up to take on... And of course, you also have Shaluth from the pages of New Warrior. She pops in here too. Great to see her. And there's stuff here with Hydra, which is kind of interesting to say the least. As for, well, her father. By the way, they revealed that her name, Riri, is actually her father. Originally, her father's nickname. And yeah, we have Oyata, who actually, I believe they mentioned at one point, I think she was supposed to be the current hostess of the Iron Fist. Yes. And here he is. That's Riri's father, showing up in the third to last issue of this ongoing series. Yeah. So it turns to the guy they're living with is not extra father, but this guy is her father. And, well, you got to thank Eve Ewing for that. And he apparently does not remember the fact he has a daughter. Nope, he does not remember. And he's like, what the heck are you talking about? They're like, I don't have a daughter. Yeah, he's like, nuts. And yeah, this guy is actually Riri's father. Daja herself, who is an old friend of Riri's, she pops up here with the final issue of the series. Xavier, the character Xavier, not Professor Charles Xavier, she gets sort of a new look and basically kind of defeats her father. Reunites her mother in Chicago, and that's it. Yeah, what a abrupt way to end a pretty good series. Final thoughts on it? Good series. Marvel should not have canceled it. I'm going to give this book a 9 out of 10. Yes, I am of the opinion, basically, my friend Edgar agrees with me on this, that this is a book that Marvel should not have canceled. Was it terrible? No. It basically, one person described it as basically a way to fix some of the stuff Bendis did with her in his brief time was writing her, which is like a little over a year. I mean, yeah, he practically had her show up during these issues of Iron Man when Iron Man himself was actually in the book, and then she took over the book for some reason, and there was certain stuff related to the book that a lot of people didn't like. That basically where she told teachers to be basically racist to her for no reason. Excuse me, this book is a pretty good book, and in my opinion, did this help fix the character, fix some problems with the character? Yes, it did. It introduced a new plot thread that was not resolved. Nope, because the series had to end for reasons. Now, do I think it was canceled due to low sales? No, not really. I don't think it was. I think the sales were fine. I don't think it was canceled because of that. Now, you might be asking, okay, did Riri do anything after this book wrapped up? I think she popped up in Champions, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It is kind of weird, though, that they would cancel a really good series like this. And, of course, the writer of this book will there write Champions. Yep, a run that features stuff related to Outlaw. And Riri herself wasn't even featured in the book very much at all. Nope. Now, as for why she had the joint champions over a joint group like the Avengers, well, it wasn't a bad choice for her. She wasn't exactly around very long as a full-fledged hero. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And apparently the story for her did continue in Incoming #1. That was pretty much her next actual appearance was Incoming #1. Which the whole thing of that led it to Outlawed. For reasons left completely unexplained. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not really sure why. But apparently for story wise, that's where it continued was Income #1, which is a one shot that pretty much set up a lot of the future stuff. Yeah. And I believe her most recent book she's featured in was in fact Champions. Mm-hmm. Yep, that was her most recent book. Now I'm not my laptop is apparently functioning a little slowly for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why, but it is. I'll probably take care of it in a minute. Okay, so moving on to a different book created, another character Bendis created, Echo. Yes, Echo. Yep, Echo. Yes, a character first popped up in the pages of Daredevil. Yes, unlike in the case of Ironheart, who obviously popped up in Iron Man, she popped up in the pages of Daredevil when Brian McCubbin this was the writer of the book. Yes, seriously. That is pretty much in the way when she first showed up. And at one point, get this, she slept with Daredevil. Yeah, she did. And she was part of basically his run for New Avengers. Yep. For some issues per se. She was part of the group for a certain period of time. Then, of course, basically, for some strange reason, she got removed. She was basically out of the group briefly for a few issues, and she left, and she came back after the events of Civil War One, and she was pretty much there up until Secret Invasion. Yes, right after the events of Secret Invasion, that's when they pretty much in a way stopped featuring her. Yeah, that's when they stopped featuring the book. And she popped up sporadically over the years. At one point, she died. Yes, at one point, she died. And then she came back. No explanation of how. She just randomly shows up in a Daredevil annual by Charles Shaw. Shaw himself never explained in the annual of why the heck she came back. I mean, she got murdered by freaking Count Nefardia. She got murdered by him. Also, for some reason, Bendis made her a love interest of Moon Knight. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. Given the fact Moon Knight already has a girlfriend. Well, he's currently married, though they don't bring up in the current book for some reason. Now, why is this called Phoenix Song Echo? Maya Lopez became the current host of the Phoenix Force. And for some reason, the book does focus on her a lot because it's technically her book. But for the X-Men involvement, because, well, Phoenix is usually involved with the X-Men stuff, of all people get involved with this, you involve a character who's got no history with the Phoenix Force. For some reason, the writer of this book, Rebecca Roundhouse, decided to have it where Forge decided to go after Forge. Not Jean Grey, not Hope Summers, not Quince Hire, Forge. Yeah, I felt that was kind of stupid. Why the heck frickin' Forge? The guy's got no frickin' history with the character. Yes, as far as I can tell, he has no history with the Phoenix Force. And yet, for some reason, they had her part of basically this. I thought this was kind of stupid. Yes. Yeah, like I said, there's really no reason for this at all. I thought this was kind of stupid. Like, okay, if you're going to involve Forge, fine. Got no problem with that. Okay, I can actually reveal exactly what the heck that she was up to, well, after her book ended. Well, at the pop-up an issue of Uncoming, and of course, probably pop-up for Black Panther, appeared in Outlaw. She actually had a mini-series for 2020, which I think I reviewed this one. She appeared for pretty much the entire fourth volume for Champions. I think she skipped issue 1, but she was there for pretty much issue 2 to issue 10. Popped up for another issue of Black Panther. Actually, a few issues of Black Panther in the previous writer's run. Marvel Augustus Legacy, an issue of Miles Morales Spider-Man, Infinite Possibilities, Infinite Comic, the last 2 issues of Double Reign, and her last known appearance to date was Devil's Reign Heroes for Hire. Yeah. That was her most recent appearance to date. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though, here's the thing. Echo first appeared in Bendis's, I thought it was Bendis created her. No, it was actually David Mack. My apologies, but basically, Bendis wrote her a lot. And yeah, I thought this issue was the first issue that, well, Bendis wrote, but nope, not the case. I thought it was, because I could have sworn basically Bendis basically helped create the character. I guess I was wrong about that. And I'm thinking, okay, when the heck did Bendis take over the book? Because I thought it was because basically he featured her a lot. Okay, here we go, finally. It was issue 16. That was his first issue he wrote for the book. Yeah, so she's a creator of David Mack and Joe Quesada. Yep, that's who created her. But the only reason I think that she was created by Bendis because he basically wrote her a lot. That's why I basically kind of associate with. My mistake, but I really wanted to include her because she's basically a great character in this help basically develop over the years. Now, you're probably curious though, how the heck did this happen? How in the world did Echo become host of Phoenix Force? Wasn't the Phoenix Force destroyed in AVX? Yes, but they came back together, and there was a couple other hosts. Basically, there was one host they had since then, one brief host, Quentin Quintire. Yeah, he was briefly host in a run for Thor. Yeah, thank you, Jason, for doing that. Though after that, nothing. Though they kind of bring the Phoenix Force back for the Return of Jean Grey, the adult version of the character, and then nothing for about a few years. And then they had a storyline where it basically was like basically a tournament to figure out who the new host is, and they chose Maya Lopez. Interesting. Twice Jason Aaron picked the character to be the host of Phoenix Force. I mean, first it's Quintire, and then it's Echo, for reasons. Also, the one thing I do not understand is the handprint on her face. I don't remember if that was ever explained. If anybody remembers exactly when the heck this was explained, please put in the comments below. So this book, they kind of explore a little bit of our backstory. Now, in the case of this miniseries, like, do we have an action villain? Does she fight anybody? Well, she ends up causing a fire. Of course, she kind of researches her past a little bit. Or apparently it's revealed that, despite the fact clearly the character is probably supposed to be Hispanic, apparently she's actually part Native American. Chickasaw. On her mother's side. Okay. I kind of assumed just by looking at her, I thought she was Hispanic. They do keep the fact she's deaf. They do keep that. Also, if you read Chip Zdarsky's run for Daredevil, oh, by the way, the artist is a couple different artists in this book. For most of the time, it's Luca Mercier on co-artwork by Carl Charles for issues 2 through 4. The cover art is basically of Corey Smith and Andre Sanchez for issue 1. 2 through 3 is David Carl, and the last two issues, Carl Lopez. Yes, like I said before, if you read Chip Zdarsky's run for Daredevil, here's Elektra as Daredevil, the woman without fear. Yeah, you gotta thank Chip Zdarsky for doing this. Yep. Yeah, it's clearly Elektra. Not really sure why in the world she had to pop in this book. There's even a brief passing by of Krakatoa because she just happened to fly by. And we see not only Forge, but also Chamber. Yes, Chamber. And then we see a man named Riverwalker, who becomes basically Maya's love interest in the book. Yep, her love interest. And she also gets contacted by Brew. Yes, Brew. Yes, not... Now, you're probably thinking, why the heck would she be contacted by Brew, per se? Well, she is a reserve member of the Avengers. Yeah. It's kind of weird, basically, this book. Yeah, so... And apparently they go to Easter Island in this book, which is basically something that happened in the Avengers book. Which, that would be nice. Okay, if you read Avengers, you would know, oh yeah, she was here basically for when she fought Namor. Here's the problem with this scene. No editor's note. You could note, oh yeah, this happened in Avengers, issue 42. During the Challenge of Phoenix, which basically some people thought was a retread of AVX. Even though it really wasn't. Yeah, this I thought was a really dumb... Now, I don't mind him going here. That's not the issue. The issue is no editor's note. Why the heck would he feature him here? And then, of course, she gets briefly in prison, he breaks out, meets up with Maya Lopez, basically starts researching. And this funny thing with the car and, like, security system. And he comes out wearing a towel. He's, like, dripping wet because he just came out of the shower. The last man tried to kill me. So, like, I said to be here at 6 o'clock. It's only 5:30. You're early. and then chance to disable the security system. And apparently, like, okay, let me put some clothes on. Yep. And so, yeah, they research, and thanks to basically Phoenix Force, they research a past of her being Native American. Like, okay, interesting. I don't mind the geology stuff here. It's actually really interesting of an idea because they kind of developed the character per se, but they never actually explored the character's history before. I thought that was interesting. Apparently, also a ancestor first who was actually a previous host of Phoenix Force. I'm like, that's interesting. And you're probably thinking, okay, like for this book, like who actually is his main villain? He just called Adversary. Yeah, apparently he's a character from Chris Claremont's run. Yeah, I thought this was kind of weird. The fact that remember a character like prior to this book, the guy had not been seen in decades. I mean, his last appearance, well, he did actually return somewhat. I mean, he popped up for sporadically during some issues of X Factor, but prior to this book, the last time he appeared was pages of Black Panther when he was under Triple Dish numbering. Yes. Yeah, he popped up for a couple issues of Black Panther, and then he also popped up at Howling Command as a shield for a handful of issues as a villain. Yep, and he also popped up prior to that in Cable and X-Force for a handful of issues. An issue of Journey to Mystery, but just prior to that, New Mutants. Yes. Now, in the case of Maya Lopez, like, and I'll get some more to her. Prior to her appearing in Avengers, like appearing for that story, she previously had appeared in the pages of Captain Marvel and Captain America as a semi-recurring character. Because Marvel didn't have anything to do with her. Though she also returned to Daredevil. Yeah, I'll get to more to her in a comic because it's kind of weird how they basically deal with her. Mm-hmm. So yes, after battling the Adversary, which I don't think he pops up again after this miniseries wraps up. It's like they threw him in here because he previously fought Forge. But it is definitely a good series, and it does start a potential romance between her and Ribwalker, who, to my knowledge, does not appear ever again. Nope. Yeah, as far as I can tell, I don't think he pops up again. No. He's just basically in this one miniseries. And that's it. Yeah, I'm like, really? Even referencing here the White Hot Room, I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. That was the home of Jean Grey for decades. And then, like, she's magically alive. Excuse me. Yep. Yeah. Definitely a good book. I do appreciate, basically, Echo getting a miniseries for herself. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. And, like in the case of Ironheart, okay, what did Maya Lopez do after this series wrapped up? Well, despite appearing also in this series, she also basically appeared in Death of Doctor Strange the Avengers, the first issue of the relaunch Hulk by Danny Cotis, an issue of one issue Avengers, issue of Iron Man, Eternals, actually a couple issues Eternals because stuff related to a story known as Hail Thanos. Yep. And then in issue 54, she officially joins the main Team Avengers. Yep, she does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She pretty much joins the group with issue 54. And they even just, in the most recent issue they had released, which came out a little while ago. I don't think 56 is released yet. No, it has. 56, which is going to come out later this month. Like, wow, that's like almost exactly 1 month. Yeah, they have Black Panther lead the team, and Nighthawk joins the group. Yes, Nighthawk. And they also allowed the current Star brand to join the roster. Which, that's going to be quite interesting to basically discuss when I talk about the next trade. Mm-hmm. Yep, but not much else to say about these two trades. They're both good, definitely. Do I think Echo should get a little bit more? I mean, this is probably a good development for her. I like the fact we explored her history. Fine. Do I think this should lead to an ongoing series? Not really sure, actually, because here's the thing. Well, you gotta create more villains. You can't just give her a random X-Men villain. I mean, if you want to basically feature, like, Native American characters, like, how about doing a team with Thunderbird? Do that. But who knows, okay? So yeah, that's a particular view. Next one's gonna be talking about a character who was probably by far had one of the most hated series recent memory. American Chavez. I'll talk about her next, okay? Next video. Bye.